Right, so just in case anybody might be watching this, I've got an EZFlash Junior here, and I've read lately that these have got issues with them, whereby the batteries, they discharge really quite quickly. And I bought this, must be nearly a year ago, and I've hardly used it because it does. I'll replace the battery, and within a month or so, the battery's dead and it's no longer functional, really. The cartridge still technically works, I guess, but if you forget to reset after using it, it won't then flash the SRAM back to the SD card, which then means you'll lose all your saves. So it's just a bit of a pain in the backside trying to remember to do it every single time. So I have read that the SRAM itself can be replaced with another chip. Now, apparently, I'll be able to zoom in on it a bit here. Come on, autofocus. Should have done that. That is terrible. Anyway, it's a expansion SRAM chip. There we go. Just don't see that. But apparently, this particular chip has got an issue. Well, what's that an issue? Apparently, it's a PSRAM. I haven't really spent a great deal of time looking into what the difference is between them. But apparently, this particular SRAM, PSRAM chip has a higher than normal battery drain from these little cells here. So I'm just wang jangle this thing out here. And we'll just quickly bring my meter over. And we'll just test that quickly. Oh, yeah. Dead as a dodo, look. Not even a volt. Completely dead. So that's that. So that confirms that's probably the second or third battery that I've installed in this, and every single time it's lasted maybe a month, and then it's then failed again. Now somewhere I thought I had some replacement batteries. If I don't, it doesn't matter. I can get some more to test with. I do have some new batteries. Oh, there we go. So I've got one right there. And that is the last one of those, though. I do have such a ridiculous selection of batteries. I mean, no one's starting to fail. Slim ones. They're older than the hills. But you get the picture anyway. So I've got one spare battery. So with any luck, this should mean I will never have to worry about batteries ever again. So I had to just test it that the battery wasn't completely dead. So I'm a little bit worried about doing this, but if I mess it up, there's no real loss, really, to be honest. So the RAM chip that's on there, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see this very well on the camera. There we go. The 71G L032A408FW08. And the one that I've got here looks like it's exactly the same. Oh no, tell a lie. So that's a 40. That's 40. That's an A0. I can't really say I've had a great deal of. I was going to say experience replacing VGA chips. On the flip side, I've not really had much experience. Well, I have done them. I haven't had much luck when I have done them. So it's, I hope I have a bit more success with this. I might do it a bit differently though. So I will just put that into Google just quickly. So it's 71 EL032 J08. Let's see what Google brings up. So that is a 32 megabit. Memory and RAM, apparently, according to Google. There we go. Let's bring that down a bit low. That's nice. There we go. There's the chip in question. There's the other one. Let's see if I can make it easy for myself and search with the Google Lens. There we go. That's what I want. Copy text. There we go. Oh, cool. This is a parallel NOR flash RAM. No, I'm getting confused now. So, well, according to the forum here, the standard EZFlash uses Junior, who's an S71 GL 032 or an 064. Oh, I might have ordered the wrong one, perhaps. So the one that's been suggested is 32J08, which is exactly what this is, so it's a 32J08. So, I mean, the only thing I can do really is just have a go and test. GL, PL, what's the difference between a GL and PL? Anyway, as it currently stands, I can't use the card for more than a month anyway, so it's a bit pointless in its current guise. So let's pull the flash off and actually just see where we go from there. I think that's the best thing to do, to be honest. So let me just find a USB cable here. I think what I'll do before I do that is I've got my little hot plate here, but it is a bit, I say a bit, it is very dirty. A lot of that is quite literally burnt on. So I'm not going to get it off right now. I'm not going to worry about it right now either. So let's get this plugged in. Let's get it warmed up. And then let's take off the old chip, shall we? So just give it a second to let it warm up a bit. Okay. Little cloth out for the time being as well. And just warm it up. Oh wow. Yeah, 170 degrees. Let's be putting that on there. No, just hold still in there. Nozzle a bit of white paper because this stuff is very, very loose. Its mechanics. Hot. Flux. What I'll also do as well I'll wait for that to warm up. I shall swap over my solder tips to my little angle tip, so I've got that ready to go. Just going to move that to the edge of the board. And we're off. Super. So I'm just going to take that board off. And I'll just grab out my little silicon mat. I really need some new ones of these because this one's a bit battle worn. And then I shall just grab a bit of snot. Grab some copper braid just so I can tie this up with. Try not to press too hard. That looks pretty good. In the meantime, I'll get my sponge, a little bit of alcohol on that. Trying to burn myself in the process. Give that a bit of a once over. Do a little bit of kitchen roll just to tidy, dry that off with. Alright, there we go, that's better. So now, let's apply a little bit more. Just a little bit of flux just onto here. tried to. I think my tip might have mellowed. Yeah, it has. The problem with these plastic tips, they don't really like a lot of heat. Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And we shall then just carefully reseat that back onto there. And then reflow it back into place. I'll just pull it over to there. My head's going to get in the way of the camera a little bit. Something tells me I've completely balls that up with too much flux. I think if I just give it a careful prod, yep, I think we've got it. So I'm just going to leave that to cool off for a second. Shut off my thing here. Just going to let that cool off for a second. Probably really didn't need to use a full-blown hot plate for that, but whatever. This will be interesting to see if this works. That was the original one to come off. Cool. Right, that's cooled down quite a bit. Now, with any luck, I haven't balled anything else up in the process. I haven't touched anything else. So, anything to do is just chuck it back in the case and see if it actually turns on. If it does, after a winner. EZFlash. Looks like I might have balls that one up. I might have to have a go refill on that perhaps. Let me just find a battery. After that battery. If I have to put the old flash back on, we'll have to put the old flash back on. Yeah. Looks like it doesn't. Oh, actually, no. I know why. No, I know why. Because I've got the SD card in. Maybe. Maybe that's what it is. In the right way around. That's possibly what it is. I'm trying to read the SD card and there isn't one. Yep. Battery dry. Battery is not dry, but thank you. So, the battery should not be dry. Let's just zoom back out again. That's a bloody brand new battery. I'll be very disappointed if that battery's already dead. I should be very disappointed. Right. Let's go from there. I think that's a ground there. No. I wouldn't be surprised if the battery was dry. I've not had a great deal of luck with these batteries. No, that's a brand new battery. That's curious. That kind of means that the battery's fine, but not actually being detected by the I haven't got a shared ground in that case. No. Which is bizarre because I can see, where is that? It's difficult to see on the camera, but basically that little ground pad, or that little pad there, is your ground for the battery, negative for the battery. And it comes out to a ground plane just here. I think. I don't want to pull off the battery terminal. I don't want to do that really, but that is curious. And the battery negative's got to go somewhere. It doesn't look too clever in there, I must admit. Doesn't look very clever in there at all. Unfortunately, I haven't got my scope out to have a closer look at it. There we go. There's there, a little branch coming off that centre pad there onto this ground plane. And that's what I'm touching. There isn't attached to the ground plane. No, it isn't. I'll just scratch away a little bit of the solder mask there. Let's see what that does. Yeah, not attached. That. There we go. So it is attached. I'll put the battery back in. I'll reassemble it. Chuck it back in there. Console. And see what happens. Didn't want to say that for the first time. And then turn it off. Back on again. Yeah. So, alright, let's say. Oh, hold on. Let's go back. Now, this should, in theory, load a save from the SD card into the SRAM. There we go. Move. Let me just change the screen. I can't swim yet, can I? Dark thing. Okay, I need to. I haven't played this for a little while. I need to find a door. Because I'm only just starting this game, there's no other doors. I've got to move to a different place. Oh, come on. Yeah. I forget if this. I can't remember if this saves at the door, much like the old Link's Awakening and get up with that, you can start back at the door. Yeah, so that's no good, that. So I'll go into it, save, and then see if the save has then come back. Okay. There we go, that worked. So now that, if I save there, go back into it, that should bring me back out to it. Nope. What's going on here? Okay. Let's try something else. Backup save. Okay. I know what I can do. I know what I can do. Let's go back into it, but load and start a new game. Because then that'll tell me different whether the SRAM's working or not. There we go. We'll just do that quickly. Right. There we go. Now that's done that. If I go back into it, yep. There we go. Right, now in theory, if I turn this off, disconnect it, give it a chance to reset, reload it, got a screen and wipe as well while I'm at it. Backup save. I think this is working. Which I'll be really happy if it is, because it means I can then use the game, use the cartridge in anger. Look at that! So that means that the SRAM replacement chip has actually worked. That's fantastic. Which is nice because then it also means I can use the real-time clock and all that sort of good stuff on this because I can't use it. So that's incredible. I'm well happy with that. Well, we'll see. We'll see if in a month's time the battery's dying again. Is this the day or the month? That's the month, isn't it? Today's the 6th, and it is there we go. Auto save. Ah. That is brilliant. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. So that means that is now working an absolute treat. I'll just load up another game. Oh, and my camera's now about to die. So I'm going to have to call it quits there, I think. Now, if I reset that, backup save, yeah. But the real test will be whether or not that continues working again after a month. Yeah, that's fantastic. Right, I'm going to call that quits. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm well happy with that.